This is part two of our first episode, The Last Historian. When we left off, Amica had just learned a truth that changes everything.
While Amica grapples with the weight of history, in another corner of the world, a storm is brewing. The Master Order, an unseen force of control and influence, is unraveling under the pressure of a whistleblower. Noah Ryder, a name whispered in corridors of power, has exposed secrets they would do anything to keep hidden. And I mean anything.
We have a problem. Noah Ryder just leaked Batch 3. It's worse than the last one. Strategic alliances, operational blueprints. They're out there.
We've contained some of it, but the 4-part story he dropped? It's already trending. Public trust is unraveling.
Shut it down. Deploy all resources. We need him, alive, if possible.
And if he resists?
Do whatever it takes.
In dark rooms and encrypted networks, urgent voices collide, their authority undermined by the public's growing awareness. The storm Noah has unleashed is no ordinary leak. It's a cascade that could shatter their carefully constructed illusions. Because this time, it's not just documents, it's not just corruption. It's Batch 3, the final phase. A system so deeply embedded in every screen, every device, every neural link that it no longer needs enforcement. It simply is. He has exposed their greatest secret, the Hypnos experiment. And now they hunt him. Desperately, ruthlessly. As the storm rages on both sides of the world, one truth emerges. The threads connecting two fates are uncertain, but the cost of uncovering the truth may be higher than either of them ever imagined. A few days after the news, Amica meets Luca at a cafe for lunch. They have been best friends since the 7th grade, drawn together by their shared curiosity and endless debates. Despite their different paths, Amica immersed in history, Luca in ethical AI and a tech consultant, they had always supported and challenged each other. Luca often relied on Amica to deepen his understanding of perspectives outside his own, and Amica valued Luca's pragmatism that keeps her grounded.
So, you're telling me that's it? No more historians after you? That's insane, Amica. What about archives? Museums, everything we rely on to keep the truth alive?
I don't know, Luca. Professor Bell made it sound like some decision from the top or an outside organization, like the whole system's shifting, and now I'm supposed to carry the weight of being the last? What does that even mean?
It doesn't sit right with me. What are they replacing it with? Super AI? Some sanitized, approved version of history? We both know which history will be erased first.
Exactly. That's why I've been so focused on Black history, Reconstruction, the aftermath, all of it. It's still so relevant. But lately, I've been wondering if there's more to this.
Like what?
Like, maybe this isn't just about Black history. Maybe it's bigger. If they can erase Black stories, they can erase others, too. This feels like an attack on truth itself, not just one group's history.
Before Luca could respond, the robotic waitress glided up to their table, her synthetic smile fixed in place.
Can I offer you guys some water?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. We are still looking over the menu.
The waitress lingered a moment too long, as if her programming couldn't register the tension at the table, before moving on. Amica sighed, her gaze drifting to the holographic menu. The vibrant images of food shimmered before her, almost tangible, but she had no appetite.
So, what exactly did Professor Bell say? Did he give you any hint about why this is happening? Or what is expected of you?
Not really. He just said it's coming from higher up, like some institution or organization has decided historians aren't needed anymore. He didn't even seem surprised, just resigned.
Resigned? That's not a good sign.
I know, and it's not like I can press him for answers. He's risking enough just by telling me.
So, what's your next move?
I don't know. I've got more questions than answers, tons of deadlines, and now this. All I can do is keep working and hope I figure it out before it's too late.
You've been running yourself into the ground over this thesis. When was the last time you slept?
I don't even remember.
You can't take this on if you're running on empty. Promise me you'll at least try to rest, because if you end up sick, you'll be no good to anybody.
Luca's concern was clear, but Amica's mind was elsewhere. The weight of Professor Bell's words pressed on her chest, heavy and unrelenting. As she stared at the holographic menu, the images blurred, her thoughts circling back to a single phrase, the last historian. What did it mean, and why did it feel like the beginning of something far bigger than she could comprehend?
The last historian. That's what I am now. Not just a researcher, not just a student. The last. If I fail, what happens then?
Amica, are you even listening to me? Did you hear what I just said about your health?
Yes, Luca James, I heard you.
Amica sat quietly, the weight of the revelation sinking in. Was this a warning, a challenge, or both? Outside, the storm raged on, thunder rolling like a relentless drumbeat. The truth had always been fragile, threads connecting past to present, easily unraveled. But now, it felt as though history itself was on the brink of collapse. Who was behind it, and why? As the rain pounded the cafe windows, one thing was certain: Amica's journey was just beginning. In a world shifting towards centralized control and unchecked power, what happens when the truth becomes the most dangerous thing of all?
Timeless truth seekers, we hope you enjoyed the first episode. There is much more to come as we follow Amica on her journey. Stay tuned after the credits for a preview of the next episode of the Amica Archive. GLP Productions proudly brought you this episode of the Amica Archive. Created by Karine Garner and enhanced by ChatGPT, this episode features the following: voice actors provided by ElevenLabs. Callie, Jessica's voice.
Narrator, Robert's voice.
Amica, Aria's voice.
Professor Bell, Hobbs' voice.
Mary White, Ovington, Matilda's voice.
Voice 1, Roger's voice.
Voice 2, Liam's voice.
Luca James, Loey voice.
Sound effects, freesound.org. Music, YouTube Audio Library, Big Score by MK2, Empty Moon of Jupiter by DivKid, Apocalyptic Echoes by Jimena, Cafe Regrette by Asher. The Amica Archive was recorded in Oxnard, California. From all of us here at the Amica Archive, thank you for joining us for this audio theater for the soul.
This episode was inspired by real history. References include The Walls Came Tumbling Down, the autobiography of Mary White Ovington, written in 1947, chronicling her fight for racial justice and the founding of the NAACP. Additional research was drawn from archived editions of the Crisis magazine, first published in 1910.
Go to our website to dig deeper into the Amica Archive, explore the real history behind the story, access exclusive research, and uncover connections hidden in plain sight.
Next time on the Amica Archive. And while she hadn't been to church in decades, her grandmother had given her the spiritual tools to find guidance and protection.
And during hard times, she'd always remind me.
Everything happens in divine order.
Carrying her spirit far from the present moment. She had been transported, distant, to a sacred shore where the ancestors awaited her. Within the ebb and flow of each wave, they held her fears, blessed her tears, and protected her deepest desires. a copper-brown snake slithered into his path. Not large, but enough to jolt his nerves.
First a rock, now a snake. What's next, Glitch?
Snakes are common in this environment. However, your paranoia is statistically justified. Would you like me to scan for additional threats?
It was a tiny snake, Glitch, not an anaconda. No need to freak me out more than I already am.
For the latest updates and exclusive content, go to www.gott-love-paz.com. You can follow us at the Amica Archive on YouTube and social media.